Welcome to my guide on the first boss of the Sanctum of Rebirth, and that will have to be Vermyx, the Brood Mother. As for requirements, any style works, however, I do not suggest the melee style because you will be running a lot. As for the quest, you will need to have completed the Soul Searching quest, and it does help to have completed the Succession quest that you're able to use the Dive ability without having melee weapons equipped, and it does help to have the Double Surge ability, although it is not necessarily needed. It will just help for in between phases. Before we actually do go over the boss mechanics, we'll be going over the boss arena, and directly to the west and east of the boss, he will spawn a noodle head throughout the fight, and it will attack the player with range. For that purpose, we will be wanting to focus on prey range, and at the very end corners, if the fight does take too long, two additional noodle heads will spawn attacking the player, and they will also be doing their own special attack, but it won't be needed too much as you should be able to defeat the boss rather quickly, even with tier 80 weapons. For the very first mechanic of the boss fight, you will notice that while you are attacking the boss, every time he attacks you, his adrenaline bar will fill up. In normal mode, it will take 3 times for it to fill up. In hard mode, twice. For the very first mechanic, he will spawn a little square box on the character, and you will simply want to move out of the way. Doing so, you will avoid getting stunned and the typeless hit. If you are in hard mode, it will spawn 3, so you simply want to move 3 times. The next mechanic, when it fills up, it will do a huge AoE blast burn attack in front of the boss. You simply want to surge or blade dive away. Afterwards, the next mechanic, it will spawn a noodle head, and the noodle head will be directly north of me. This will be able to attack players with range. Now, the very next mechanic will be very rapid, but don't worry. The goal is to step in the highlighted area 3 times to continue the next phase. Now, if you do fail that noodle head on the west side will do a blast burn attack. And then afterwards, he'll launch those 3 attacks again for you. So you can do this forever until you eventually get those 3 out of 3, making the boss head spawn in the middle. And don't worry, now that we have the noodle head spawned, they will be attacking you with range, so you are able to use devotion if you are taking a lot of damage. For phase 2, when the boss does have his adrenaline bar fill up, he will be able to do a massive bomb attack, and you'll want to use either debilitate or reflect to take as little damage as possible. You are able to use resonance, but the nearby noodle heads will be able to snipe it, so just make sure to eat up and you'll be able to safely tank that hit. And then once you do phase the boss, there is one mechanic, and this is from the other one, where you'll simply want to go in the 3 arrows in the correct tiles. And don't worry, if you do fail this, you will not be taking damage, and you'll just have to wait until it happens again. Now, for phase 3, there is one brand new mechanic for this one, and while you are attacking the boss, you can stay to the west or east of it, so only one of the heads will be able to attack you. But once his bar does fill up, you will notice somewhere on your screen a scarab will be spawning. You will actually want to use the Soul Strike ability to stun it, and then you will be able to damage it. If not, this beetle will charge up a little adrenaline bar, in which case, let's say the boss has 70,000 health. It will heal the boss by that 70,000 health, doubling his current HP, which can be annoying, especially if you're in groups and 2 or 3 scarabs come and heal the boss. Make your way to the city of Lodestone, and players will want to run north to the docks, and we'll be clicking on the gondola. Yes, you are able to use the Faithful Portal, however, that is seasonal, and depending on when you are watching this guide, it may not be available. When you are here, I will be going through hard mode just because we went over all the mechanics for easy mode, and the only difference from hard mode is the mechanics will happen a little bit longer. Before we actually do start the fight, you are able to pre-summon your conjures at the end of the snake icons in the background, So summon all your conjures, activate your aura, the darkness spell, overloads, and all that stuff. Run north, and if you are using necromancy, you are able to use death scrolls, split souls, and then both the tier 95 spec and your EOF tier 90. And yes, dread nips do work in this boss. And then right here, we will be getting the mechanics. But remember, instead of 1, we will be getting 2 to 3. And then once the boss is phased, we'll be running to the direction that does state in the background, which is west. Remember to not attack the head, as it will path you and drag you out of the correct tiles you need to stand in. So for that, make sure to have your auto retaliate off. Then once you have collected all 3, you want to attack the middle boss head and avoid the special attack from the west noodle head. And then of course, re-summon your Dreadnought as you were too far, and then he will be doing the special attacks again. Just remember to attack, move 1 tile, attack, 1 move tile to avoid all 3 of those icicles that do spawn. And remember, they can stun you for 2 seconds. So if you get hit by the first one, you'll be able to get hit by the second and the third, which may end up losing your hardcore Ironman status. Once again, after that, we're going east, collecting the 3 objects, and now time for the final phase. And remember, you can stay either to the west side or the east side so that only one of the monster heads from either direction is able to attack you. And then right here, the scarab does spawn, so remember to soul strike, and then just make sure to kill it. But do keep an eye on the boss mechanics at the same time, as it is able to multi-stack, just because the boss will be able to attack you, and depending on if you do have the soul residue to be able to stun it instantly. Right here, he charges up the bomb hit. You want to reflect and debilitate if you are in hard mode, and that is just because you'll be taking additional damage just because it's hard mode versus normal mode. Now, the ending part is very easy. You'll just want to surge or blade dive away. And then once the boss is there, another head will be doing that attack, so you just want to move around back and forth to avoid it. But if you do stand near the north, you should be safe from only the northern head attacking you. And congratulations. Make sure to wear your lucky doors and collect the loot. Thank you all so much for watching this, and enjoy the rest of your day. Don't forget to like, subscribe, or comment down below any video suggestions or questions you have, and I will try to answer them. And enjoy the rest of your day.